Welcome back to another Recon for the Echelon Racing League Race 2. This one is in California. Once again, it's on the Alcatraz AWOL route, but I also want to talk about some of that dynamic racing that took part in Race 1. So let's get into it. Alright, so as I've said, yes, this is going to be a recon for Race 2, but we've got to talk about Race 1. Super dynamic racing that was also in California on the Golden Gate Bridge. If you haven't gone and watched the racing yet, go and check out that racing. Whether it was the elite all the way down to the C category, both in the men's and the women's races were absolutely epic. If you want to get the full results as well, you want to see your results or the race results of other people, go and check out MyWhooshinfo.com. I'm going to leave the links down below in that description so you can find it real easy, but it's MyWhooshinfo.com that's going to have the race and the series points for all those categories throughout the Echelon Racing League series. I raced Race 1, again it was dynamic. We've got this short climb that was like a kilometre in between. It was epic. I'm racing category B. Yes, I got dropped on the second time of asking up the Hawk Hill, but I managed with one other rider to chase back on. It took 5 kilometers to close that gap on that leading group, but we got there back to that leading group. Yes, I got dropped a couple of kilometers later on the final time of asking on that climb, but again, still managed to hang on for 10th position with a bit of help from some other riders around me, and we worked together to pull that group back. But anyway, this is about Race 2. Alcatraz AWOL, similar route, but the climb is a little bit longer, but it's in steps. So let's get on course and let's take a look. All right, so we're just going to be stood here at the start gate of the race, and we're on Alcatraz Island to start with, which is quite rolling. Just before we start the race, don't forget there is still time to join the Echelon Racing League. It's not too late to go and register. Just head over to the echelonracingleague.com and you can sign up over there. In fact, you can sign up at any point throughout the series, and if you're in USA or you're in Canada, of course, this is part of the qualifier for those national championships as well. But the flag drops, we're on course, and we're going to do one loop of Alcatraz Island here, which is quite rolling. It's up and down continuously, only short punchy stuff where you've got to stay alert, again, if we're having one of those fast starts. Once we've done a lap of the island here, we're going to take a right and cross over this bridge. It's at kilometer 2.1, as I said, we take this right-hand turn, head over the bridge, and then we're going to head over into the city, and then eventually out of the city into the countryside, where we're going to start to see the hills and the mountains in front, and we get on to this first climb on this first lap. So once we start to head out of the city here, you're going to notice we take this left-hand turn at kilometer 4.7 and the landscape changes. We get into the countryside. So as I said, the climb really starts at kilometer 5.2, just as we head over this bridge here. The climb is in 3 stages, and each one is like a little step where it pitches up and then flattens off and then repeats. The final little pitch is a bit sharper, but it's only 200 meters before it flattens off the top, and then you start that descent. The pitch, the gradient goes up to 11% in places, but it does drop down to 2 to 4.5% on those shallower sections. The climb in total is longer than stage 1. However, I think the way this is set up, if you ride it well, use the draft well on those flatter sections, it really does open some opportunities for other riders to get over the top of this climb. At kilometer 6, it really flattens off. You offer some respite there before that final kick, just 200 to 300 meters to take you over the top of that climb. The descent on the other side starts at kilometer 6.7. This is important because the finish line each lap is only 3 kilometers away. So if any gaps open up on the climb, you only have 3 kilometers, which includes that high speed descent, to try and close that gap. All right, if we take a look at the finish line now, you're going to head back over this bridge onto Alcatraz Island, and then when you take this right-hand turn To start the loop, you're going to see the finish line ahead. It's only 150 meters to the finish line once we take that turn. So that's it. That's one lap of Alcatraz AWOL. Remember, it's a 3-lap race, this one, so pace yourself. Utilize those opportunities in between the climb, just like we did on the last time if you get dropped from the front group, just like I did, to close those gaps. Try and get some riders around you, flick the elbow, get them working together, and you should be able to close those gaps. I think it's going to be some really interesting racing. I'll absolutely be on the start line on this one in category B again for some great racing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, go and sign up to the Echelon Racing League, and I'll see you back here again for stage 3.